Welcome to The Explainer. We're going to look at something today that legitimately feels like a glitch in our reality. You know those moments when you learn a fact so bizarre, so completely contrary to literally everything you've ever been taught that you feel like you've just peeked behind the curtain of the universe? Well, today, we're talking about our perception of value and how what we consider rare and what we consider common might actually be a massive planetary scale illusion. Yep, we're putting diamonds head-to-head with trees.
So what if the rarest gem was actually everywhere? To really grasp this, I need you to do me a quick favor. Just temporarily suspend everything you've been taught by decades of brilliant marketing campaigns. Forget the jewelry store commercials, forget the engagement ring traditions, and absolutely forget the idea that you have to spend 2 months' salary on a tiny sparkling stone just because it's supposedly incredibly scarce. What if the very foundation of that scarcity was just a complete geographic misunderstanding?
All right, let's dive right into this. On one side, we've got the myth. You know, that deeply ingrained cultural belief that diamonds are incredibly rare, precious, and scientifically scarce gems. But on the other side, we have the reality. And the scientific reality is that our Earth is currently holding a quadrillion-ton diamond treasure deep inside its interior. We are quite literally floating on top of one of the largest caches of precious gems imaginable. The whole illusion shatters the second you look beneath the crust.
1 quadrillion. Let's just pause for a second, because I really want to deliver some scale shock here. That's a 1 followed by 15 zeros, 10 to the 15th power. And when we talk about this unbelievable volume of material, we are not talking about low-grade carbon or some worthless diamond dust. No, the scientific models we're drawing from specifically indicate that this is pure crystalline diamond. It possesses the exact same atomic structure, that precise pyramid-like crystal lattice, as the flawless gem you might see locked behind thick glass at a high-end jeweler. And there are a quadrillion tons of it. To really understand what that means for our everyday perception, let's compare it to the total living tree biomass on the entire planet. Think about every forest, every jungle, every single tree in your neighborhood. All of that totals about 550 billion tons. But crystalline diamond? That sits at roughly 1 quadrillion tons. The surface-level trees that we see absolutely everywhere, the ones that literally define our landscape, are completely dwarfed by the hidden diamonds. It kind of breaks your brain visually, doesn't it?
And look, we aren't just throwing around fun theoretical concepts here. These are based on hard scientific estimates. The living tree biomass is roughly 550 billion tons of carbon equivalent. Now, you might be thinking, well, what if we weigh the whole tree, water included? Actually, the science shows that even if you accounted for the massive water weight and all the structural compounds in literally every tree on Earth, the total mass is still orders of magnitude lower than the deep-mantled diamond cache. The math heavily favors the diamonds, which naturally leads to the obvious next question. If there are a quadrillion tons of diamonds, where on Earth are they hiding? Why aren't we tripping over them?
Section 1. Earth's hidden cratonic roots.
So, cratonic roots, what are they? They're essentially these incredibly deep, super stable, ancient sections of Earth's tectonic plates that reach way down into the mantle. Think of them almost like massive, upside-down mountains sitting right beneath our continents. Advanced seismic models, which use sound waves to map the interior of our planet, suggest that these cratonic roots contain up to 1 to 2% pure diamond. And because these roots are just so astronomically massive, when you calculate the volume of that 1 to 2%, you arrive at that staggering 10 to the 15th tons of pure crystal lattice structure.
Just think about our biological and geological reality for a second. We humans live strictly on the crust. It's basically the paper-thin skin of the apple, right? And trees are effectively the dominant surface-level life form. They rule the crust. But the absolute kicker is that in terms of pure atomic structure, the Earth has far more diamond than it has wood. Our entire perspective of what's common versus what's rare is completely skewed by our geography. It's like we're judging the entire contents of a massive library by looking at the dust on its front porch.
Section 2. The surface dweller bias.
Which brings us to this fascinating concept. It's honestly a profound cosmic irony of our situation. We are effectively fighting over microscopic volcanic scraps. Literally the only reason we think diamonds are incredibly rare is because we have zero access to those cratonic roots. Instead, we just have to sit up here on the crust and patiently wait for extremely violent deep earth volcanic superhighways, known as kimberlite pipes, to occasionally cough up a tiny microscopic amount of that massive diamond reserve to the surface. We're fighting tooth and nail and paying absolute top dollar for geological leftovers. The rarest substance on Earth is actually its most abundant mineral. That right there is the ultimate synthesis of this whole mind-bending glitch. When you really understand the data we've covered today, our traditional valuation of diamonds just feels like a matrix-like illusion. We've built an entire industry, global trade networks, and huge cultural milestones around a stone that is scientifically way more common on this planet than the very wood we use to build our houses.
And all of this leaves us with a pretty provocative question, doesn't it? What other glitches exist in our perception of value? If the fundamental rarity of diamonds is just an illusion born from our surface-level bias, what else are we drastically misjudging? What other bizarre myths are masquerading as reality simply because of where we happen to stand? I really hope this explainer has completely shifted your perspective and sparked a curiosity to look deeper at the world around you. Stay curious, keep questioning the baseline, and I'll see you in the next explainer.